Quinn here, and I've got the sun in my eye. Right, a little video. I've started in my summer house. This summer house I built in 2015. It won an award in 2016. It was voted as the best budget shed of the year. Now we're 2020 and it's still standing, which is a miracle actually. And it's as solid as a rock. It's gone through all the winds, all the gales, and it doesn't leak. I've got a plastic roof and the floor's dry, so I mean there's holes everywhere, but it's dry inside. Anyway, not here to talk about the summer house. I've been asked to do a video on the coronavirus thingy that we're all having to put up with at the moment. I wasn't going to do a video because I think there's enough out there, to be honest. I read about what's going on and I just go about my business in the best way I can. I'm not really a homebird kind of person, but I'm having to knuckle down and stay around the house. I'm not saying I'm staying in the house because I've got quite a nice garden here. I've just mowed all the grass, which is why I'm sat down at the moment, because I mean I'm getting towards 71 now, and I'm finding that a lot of these heavy physical tasks are quite tiring. I don't like to admit that, but I've got a big garden, and I'm going to hang on to it for as long as I can because it is so nice here, and it's not costing me anything. So I will stay here. But as I say, I've never been like a house person. I like going out, but then I go out and about different places, but I don't need to go out with other people. And there is a big problem at the moment where we're not on lockdown yet, but it might happen. We are having to whatever it is. You've got to stay close to home, close to indoors, and be careful where you go. People seem to think that they can't go anywhere, but you can actually go to places. But what you have to keep in mind is you need to go to places where nobody else is going. I went to walk yesterday in my local area, but I suppose I'm lucky because I live in a village, but I could walk out of the door and be 2 minutes in the countryside, and it's not a particularly touristy area. But so I walked 5 miles yesterday. I saw odd people, but I kept well away. I walked along the other side of the road, or I even went through a field so that I wouldn't have to be close to people. But this is the kind of walking that I like, because I've walked alone for a long time. I did meet a group of people, and they were friends having a stroll. Well, if you want to do that, do it. But I like to walk pretty fast because I'm out for exercise as well as enjoying the countryside. I want to stay fit. Now, I suppose technically speaking, being 70, I really do have to be careful. But I don't, as far as I know, I don't have any underlying health issues. And I do feel pretty fit actually. So I'm thinking that I do still have to go out, but I'm just taking sensible precautions. Now I've just recently bought a car, so last night, I say bought a car, I changed my car. And last night I went to get petrol from the supermarket filling station, and I went at 8:30, and I put my card in the pay as and pump, so I don't have to go in the building, I don't have to speak to anybody. So I put petrol in my car that way, and wore gloves, but taking precautions, washing hands a lot. I'm doing that a lot more now, but it's been in the news just the last couple of days or so, because it's been a nice weekend. People want to go out, which is understandable, but they've all been going to the same places, and there's pictures out there of masses of cars in car parks full, parking all along the side of the road in the tourist places in Wales, North Wales, and the Yorkshire Dales is another popular area, and apparently I've heard that, well, I've read that there's lots and lots of motorhomes travelling north to Scotland, because they think they've got their house on wheels, they pack it up with what they think they're going to need food wise, and off they go. But they don't take into consideration of where they're going, because they're going to actually disrupt the lives of people who live there, and if they're taken ill and going to need medical assistance, there's not going to be the doctors and the hospitals to access that. So there's too many people going to the same places. It just reminds me of sheep, actually, you know. I've never been a sheep, but yeah, I mean, go on a campsite, you're going to be bumping into people. You go on the recognised long distance paths, you know, the Pennine Way and the coast to coast. You're going to meet people, so go somewhere else, go on the less used paths. So that's my advice to that. I'm lucky, I suppose, that I quite like my own company. I don't feel the need to be with a lot of people, so I'm really hoping that I get through this with very little problem. I've got food in the house, I've got cats, they've got their food as well. There will be a time when I have to go and buy some more, but I should be sensible about it, but keep well away from people and go where nobody else hopefully is shopping. I mean, look what's happening with the panic buying and the hoarding. I mean, it's absolutely bonkers and crazy. People queuing at 5 o'clock in the morning, rows and rows of people with their trolleys wanting to get into a shop, and then they're grabbing everything they can. And of course, the people who are at work and the NHS people, the people rely on, they can't get their food. You know, it's absolutely disgusting, the greed of people in this country. You know, I mean, why can't everybody just work together and help each other? I mean, there are pockets of people that do help each other, like communities. We've got a community here, and I know where I can get help if I need it, and I will make sure that I'm available to help if someone needs me. You know, I'm walking somebody's dog at the moment who can't go out. So just little ways like that we should be helping each other. We shouldn't be grabbing everything we can for ourselves. We should be sharing it. So anyway, I'm sitting here in my summer house, having a little rest, 5 minutes, because I've just mowed the lawn. I don't know what's going to happen with this virus thing. Nobody knows how long it's going to take. We all have to just take it day by day. And changes are happening day by day. Places are being told that they have to close. you can't go to a pub and sit with a load of people because you don't know those people. You don't know where they've come from. And they could have come on a plane from Italy, Spain. Look how bad it is there. People coming back from holiday. I don't want to go and sit with them, thank you. I don't want to look at their holiday pictures. So, you know, places are closing, pubs are closed now. Schools are closed, but some children are going to be allowed into the schools because their parents are needed for their jobs. Things are being organised to keep those children busy in school. Maybe not the normal lessons, but they will get some lessons in school. Parents can homeschool because they can get the information from the schools, the information that they need to teach their kids at home. Look, everybody has to make changes. Things cannot be the same as they always were. I'm quite adaptable. I can adapt to changes. You know, like, I haven't got any bananas left. You know, I'm not going to rush to the shop and buy bananas or search for them if there are some. I've got frozen fruit in the freezer. That will go in my porridge. I've got a tin of peaches. I can put that in my porridge. You know, so if you haven't got one item of food, have something else. I mean, I've got a bit of bread in the freezer, but when the bread is gone, I've got cream crackers. That will do as a substitute. Milk for coffee. Now, I do buy a small thingy of milk, but in my coffee I put Coffee Mate, and I top it up with a bit of real milk. But when my real milk has gone, it's gone, and that's it. You know, I've got my Coffee Mate for my coffee. So it's all about adapting to changes. We can't go to the places that we've already or always been to. I can't stop and chat to people like I do normally as I'm walking around the village. It has to be at a distance. You know, the dogs in the village know me because I always have treats in my pocket. So I feel a bit sad really, because the dogs see me from a distance and want to come and greet me, and I want to come and greet them, but we have to keep a distance. So I wave to people on the other side of the street, as long as we all know that we are all still about. You know, it's when you don't see somebody that you've got to start making enquiries and find out why is that person, you know, not been seen. Do they actually need some help? So I'm afraid it's all about mucking in together and being adaptable to change. You know, it might mean that we cannot go abroad on holiday. I don't care about that because I've given up my license, my passport, because I don't wish to go to another country. I'm quite happy being here in this country. The thing is, this virus is spreading because travel has been so easy, and it's been too easy. The regular flights to the holiday destinations, it's like getting on a bus, isn't it? It's been so easy. I've been to a few places abroad, you know, but it was like years ago. And but the thing is, you know, there's got to be some restrictions on travel, because this is how the virus is spread worldwide. We can't just jump on a plane and fly off to Timbuktu or wherever, you know. So that's the changes that's going to have to be made. I've just been thinking about the redundant aeroplanes. You could do amazing things with redundant aeroplanes because of my make, do and mend attitude, my reuse and reuse things for something else. yeah, let's get the aeroplanes that are no longer flying and put houses in them, make apartments in them, because that's what we need. You know, thinking outside the box, being creative. You have to be creative about how you now live your life. You cannot plod along and do the same old, because you'll find one day it's just not going to happen. So think now before, you know, really drastic measures have to be brought in. Think now how you can make your life more bearable because of the changes. It's all in the mind. You have to change your mindset. You know, it might be quite a rough road that we've got to go down. It'll be a rough ride to see this thing through. You know, and you've got to have a plan B in place, because we don't know how long it's going to last, or when we're going to come out of it. You know, every day is a mystery. So anyway, you look after yourselves, and you know, be kind to other people, share what you have, and hopefully we will come out the other side. You know, it's got to peak at some times and it's got to come back down again, but it always depends on how people organise their own lives. You know, don't be crazy and do silly things. You know, be sensible about it. So I better shut up, really. Let me have a sip. I'll just take you on a little look around, and then we'll say bye bye and look after yourself. Right, moving you off the stand. Woo! The summer house at the moment hasn't got anything in it because I've only just opened the door. It's going to need a clean. All this will clean up with a wet rag. I've got my table there. This chair was given to me. Everything was given to me, actually. And let's have a look outside. We have a cat. Oscar! This is Oscar Cat. He's hanging around because he wants something to eat. The sun's quite low now, so my raised beds with flowers on. We've got some nice heathers. A lot of it is still yet to start growing. So it's not looking too bright, actually, but it will come. It will come. We've got some primroses there. At least I think they're primroses. We're going to have some. No, what are those there? I can't remember. Let me get out of this sun, there you'll get a better view. I've just mowed the grass. It's not very good, actually, but I don't care. It's green, and that's all that matters. I have green on the ground. Right, this is the view I can see out of my summer house. There are tall trees there. Still got no leaves yet, but and there's my David statue. So all this will start growing again, and I'm going to have a nice show of flowers when I sit here. Oops, the sun in my summer house. This is Mint Queen, Life After Money. Bye.